The promo for Dexter Resurrection Episode 9 hides more than it reveals. Every frame is loaded with tension, secrets, and clues that could change everything we think we know about Dexter's journey. But before we tear apart the trailer, let's take a step back and remember exactly where we left off. Because Episode 8 gave us the perfect storm that sets the stage for what comes next. Asterisk. Episode 8 left Dexter standing on a knife's edge, caught between who he wants to be and who he truly is. The choices he made in that episode are still echoing, and they shape every shadow we see in the new promo. The story so far has been about resurrection, not just in the literal sense of Dexter returning, but in the way his past keeps clawing its way back into his life. Episode 8 was a turning point, a moment where old ghosts, old mistakes, and old temptations came crashing into the present. We saw Dexter trying to hold on to the illusion of control, but it's slipping away faster than ever. The people around him are starting to notice cracks in his mask. Friends are turning suspicious. Enemies are circling closer. Every conversation, every glance in that episode felt heavier. Like everyone knew that the truth was just one heartbeat away from breaking open. That's the power of Episode 8. It wasn't about big flashy reveals, but about tightening the noose, one thread at a time. And then there's the violence. Episode 8 reminded us that blood follows Dexter wherever he goes. The aftermath of his actions doesn't just vanish, it spreads. Like a stain that can't be washed out, every attempt he makes to fix things only leaves a bigger mark. By the end of the episode, it became clear that the danger isn't just from outside forces. The real threat is Dexter himself, his instincts, his choices, his compulsion to kill. They all push him deeper into the very trap he's been trying to escape since the beginning. What makes this recap so important is how it connects directly to the trailer for Episode 9. The promo doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's built on the pressure cooker that Episode 8 left us in. Every unresolved moment is carried forward. A tense final shot of the last episode lingers like a warning. Everything Dexter has built could collapse in one violent moment. When we move into the trailer, we need to carry that weight with us, because it explains why every single second feels like it could be the one where everything comes crashing down. Asterisk, the very first frames of the Episode 9 promo set the mood instantly. We're greeted not with action, but with silence. That heavy kind of silence that makes you feel like something is watching, waiting, ready to strike. The camera lingers on a dimly lit street, rain-slick pavement reflecting broken neon lights. It's not just scenery, it's a warning. The wet ground, the long shadows, the quiet emptiness, all of it tells us that this world has become a hunting ground once again, and Dexter is either the hunter or the prey. What's striking is how the atmosphere mirrors Dexter's inner world. The storm outside feels like the storm inside him. Cold blue lighting casts everything in a ghostly glow, almost as if the past itself is haunting him. Isn't just about suspense, it's about reflection. The showrunners know how to use visuals as foreshadowing, and here, every shot screams that the walls are closing in. Then comes a quick cut, Dexter's face in the shadows. He doesn't speak, but his eyes do. They flicker between calm control and boiling panic. And in that split second, we know the facade is cracking. His expression is sharp, almost predatory, yet his jaw tightens like a man cornered. That duality has always defined him, the calm mask hiding the chaos within. And in this trailer, the camera dares us to look closer, as if it's saying, you can't hide anymore. Dexter, the atmosphere isn't just about him, though. Trailer shows glimpses of other characters, a hand clutching a bloodied object, a shadow passing across a familiar room, a blurred figure in the background that the camera doesn't let us fully see. These fragments aren't accidents, they're puzzles. Each piece suggests danger coming from multiple directions, reminding us that in Episode 9, the threat isn't singular. Dexter's enemies are multiplying, and some of them might be people we least expect. And notice how sound plays a role here too. The faint hum of electricity, the dripping of water, the sudden silence before a loud cut, it's all deliberate. The promo uses sound design like a weapon, creating unease that lingers even after the clip ends. This isn't a straightforward chase or fight. This is psychological warfare. The tone is clear. Dexter is being hunted by forces both outside and inside himself by the end of the opening sequence. The atmosphere has already told us the story. Episode 9 will not be about survival alone, but about exposure. This is the moment where Dexter's secrets, carefully buried under years of lies and masks, start clawing their way to the surface. And judging by the way the trailer is cut, you won't be able to stop them this time. Asterisk after the chilling atmosphere sets the stage. The trailer begins to reveal the players who will shape Episode 9. The first clear glimpse is, of course, Dexter. Himself, he's not the same composed figure we've seen in earlier promos. This time his face is tense, the camera catching him in half-light as though he's already being judged. His shoulders are hunched, his movements sharp, almost defensive. The trailer seems to be stripping away his confidence, piece by piece, showing us a man who is not in control, but desperately trying to pretend he still is. But Dexter isn't the only one we need to pay attention to. There's a blink and Jill miss it moment where another character steps into focus, someone who seems to have figured out a piece of his puzzle. The framing here is telling. The character isn't shown head on, but from the side, watching, studying. It gives the impression of a predator stalking its prey. The implication is clear. Dexter isn't the only hunter in this game. Anymore, the dialogue snippets in the trailer add to this tension. One voice, low and steady, says something along the lines of, "Everyone slips eventually." We don't see the speaker, but the line cuts straight to the heart of the episode's theme. This isn't random dialogue. It's a direct challenge to Dexter's greatest fear, exposure. That line plays over quick flashes of him cleaning blood, burning evidence, and staring into a mirror, making it feel less like an observation and more like a prophecy. Another moment shows Dexter speaking, his voice carrying both calmness and a sharp edge. He says something like, "I'm not the one you should be afraid of." But what makes this line so powerful is the way the trailer edits it. His words echo over images of terrified faces and violent confrontations. It's as if the promo itself is mocking him, telling us that no matter what Dexter claims, the fear always comes back to him. The dialogue becomes less of a statement and more of a tragic reminder. The monster he denies is still alive and well. Supporting characters also flash across the screen. A woman's scream, a hand reaching for a weapon, someone crying out in desperation. All these fragments show us that Episode 9 won't just be about Dexter's inner turmoil, but about the people caught in his spiral. The trailer reminds us that every action he takes ripples outward, pulling others into his darkness whether he wants it or not. These characters may not have long monologues in the promo, but their presence tells us their fates are tied to Dexter's unraveling. What makes these appearances and dialogue pieces so unique is how they're layered. The trailer doesn't spoon-feed us. Instead, it creates a rhythm of tension, a shot of Dexter's fear, a cryptic line of dialogue, a glimpse of someone closing in, then silence. It's a deliberate dance designed to make us feel like we're part of the hunt, searching for the truth hidden in shadows. By the end of these sequences, one thing is certain. The characters around Dexter are no longer supporting pieces. They're becoming threats, mirrors, and judges. And Episode 9 is where those roles collide. Asterisk, the real strength of this Episode 9 promo lies not in what it shows directly, but in the shadows, symbols, and background details. The trailer is crafted like a riddle, every frame a clue, every silence a warning. If you slow it down and study it, you start to see the patterns, visual echoes of Dexter's past, hints at what's coming, and even the possibility that his story has been circling toward this moment all along. One of the first symbolic images is the use of mirrors. There's a shot where Dexter looks into a cracked mirror, his face split down the middle. It's a powerful, wordless way of showing the duality that defines him, father and killer, man and monster, mask and reality. The crack is key. It tells us that the mask isn't just slipping, it's breaking. Episode 9 might be the episode where Dexter finally sees himself the way everyone else does, fractured, exposed, unable to hide behind control. Color also plays a huge role here. Throughout the promo, the lighting alternates between cold blues and harsh reds. Blue scenes feel quiet, like suppressed guilt, while the red shots pulse with violence, rage, and inevitability. It's as if the promo is staging a war between two sides of Dexter. The calm, calculated hunter versus the blood-soaked truth that refuses to stay buried. Every shift in color feels like foreshadowing whenever red bleeds across the frame. It's telling us that blood is coming, whether Dexter wants it or not. There's also a subtle recurring image of water. Rain dripping on glass, water pooling on the ground, a quick flash of Dexter standing near a shoreline. Water has always symbolized cleansing or rebirth, but here it feels heavier, darker. Instead of washing away sins, it threatens to drown him in them. The idea of resurrection isn't about starting fresh, but about being dragged back into the life he thought he left behind. The water imagery almost whispers, "You can't escape what you are. It always finds a way back." Then, there are the background details that most viewers might miss. A newspaper headline glimpsed on a table, a knife lying just out of focus, a familiar location from Dexter's past seasons that appears for only a second. These fragments aren't filler, they're reminders. The promo is tying the news story to old scenes, suggesting that the past isn't just influencing the present, it's actively shaping it. For longtime fans, these nods are chilling. They imply that Episode 9 won't just be about new dangers, but about the return of unfinished business. Finally, the editing itself works like a symbol. The quick cuts between Dexter's face and his victim's screams mimic the rhythm of a heartbeat fast, panicked, inevitable. It makes the entire trailer feel alive, pulsing with the reminder that time is running out. This isn't random pacing, it's foreshadowing. The closer we get to Episode 9, the more every beat feels like it could be the last. By layering mirrors, colors, water, and hidden background clues, the promo tells us what words don't. Episode 9 isn't just another chapter, it's the moment where symbols become reality, where Dexter can't escape the metaphors anymore because they've caught up with him. The message is clear, he can't run from what he is. And if the trailer is any indication, neither can we. Asterisk, the beauty of a promo like this is that it hides the loudest truths in the quietest corners. If you freeze the trailer frame by frame, you'll notice moments that don't just tease Episode 9, they practically scream what's coming if you know how to listen. Let's break down a few of the hidden details and theories that the promo seems to be daring us to figure out first. There's a fleeting shot of a hand gripping a bloodied knife, but the camera cuts away before we see who holds it. At first glance, it feels like standard Dexter imagery, but if you slow it down, the sleeve visible in that shot doesn't look like Dexter's. It suggests someone else is stepping into his world, someone who might be mirroring his habits. Could this mean Episode 9 introduces a copycat? Or worse, someone close to Dexter picking up his methods? The thought of his darkness spreading to another character is chilling, and it fits perfectly with the theme of resurrection. Another hidden clue lies in the set design. One scene briefly shows a corkboard filled with clippings and photographs, but in the corner there's a blurred photo that looks suspiciously like an old victim tied to Dexter's past. I place it there. If it isn't important, this could be foreshadowing a direct callback, maybe even the reemergence of evidence long thought buried. The theory here is simple. Episode 9 might finally bring Dexter's past crimes into the spotlight, no longer hidden in shadows, but under harsh, undeniable light. Fans are also buzzing about the appearance of an empty chair in one particular shot. It seems small, but the framing is deliberate. The chair sits in the center of the room, spotlighted, while everything else is cloaked in darkness. Chairs in Dexter's world have often been tied to interrogation, judgment, and death. This empty chair could symbolize a reckoning, someone waiting for Dexter. Or perhaps a space reserved for him when the truth finally catches up. It's not just a piece of furniture. It's a visual promise. And then there's the line that plays in voiceover. Everyone slips eventually. On its own, it's menacing, but paired with the imagery, it takes on a deeper meaning. The theory here is that Episode 9 will be the slip, the one Dexter can't cover up, the one mistake that spirals beyond control. Every season has hinted at this inevitability, but this promo feels like the confirmation that the moment has finally arrived. Finally, the editing trickery itself may be the biggest clue. The trailer cuts Dexter's line, "I'm not the one you should be afraid of," over shots of violence and blood. But what if the edit is hiding the real context? The theory is that Dexter might not be lying. There could be a new threat emerging in episode 9, someone more dangerous than even him. This would flip the story on its head, forcing viewers to question if Dexter is the hunter, the hunted, or simply another pawn in a bigger game. All these hidden details come together to paint one truth. Episode 9 won't just continue the story. It will test the very foundation of Dexter's world. The knife, the chair, the photo, the line, they aren't random. They're warnings. And if the promo is right, what we'll see in episode 9 won't just shake Dexter's mask, it could finally rip it off. Asterisk, when the trailer fades to black. What lingers isn't just the images, it's the weight of what they mean. Episode 9 feels less like another chapter and more like the breaking point. Everything the promo shows us, the mirrors, the knives, the whispers in the dark, tells us this is where Dexter's carefully constructed mask finally tears apart. And the scariest part? It isn't just about whether Dexter can survive. It's about whether the world around him can survive him. The closing moments of the promo are cut with surgical precision. Quick flashes of blood, eyes wide with fear, doors slamming shut, and then silence. That silence isn't empty, it's loaded. The kind that makes you wonder if the story is warning us of a tragedy we can't yet see. Trailers rarely give away the whole truth, but this one gives away enough to make it clear. The ground is about to crack beneath Dexter's feet. He won't be able to run fast enough to escape it. What makes episode 9 so terrifying isn't just the danger of being caught. It's the danger of being understood. For years, Dexter has lived in the shadows, convincing himself that his dark passenger was his secret to carry. But the images in this promo suggest something worse. People are starting to see him for what he is. Once that truth is out, there's no putting it back in the box. This isn't just about blood, it's about exposure, judgment, and the collapse of the double life he's fought to maintain. And that's why episode 9 stands as the potential game changer. If the trailer's clues are true, we're no longer watching a hunter stalking in the night. We're watching a man unravel, hunted by the very world he's tried to control. Every secret, every lie, every silent scream buried in his past is clawing its way out. The resurrection isn't a gift, it's a curse. So when episode 9 finally arrives, expect the unexpected. Expect betrayals, revelations, and choices that cannot be undone. But above all, expect Dexter to face the question he's avoided for so long. Is he the predator, or has he been the prey all along? Because if this promo is any indication, episode 9 won't just test Dexter's limits, it might finally shatter them. And the only real mystery left is this: when the blood dries and the silence returns, who will still be standing? Asterisk. So here's the real question. Did you catch everything the trailer was hiding? Or did some of those clues slip by in the chaos of flashing lights and whispers in the dark? That's the thrill of a promo like this. It dares us to look closer, to study every shadow, to question every frame. And now, I want to hear your theories. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think the bloody knife belongs to? Is Dexter about to be exposed once and for all? Or is there a darker force pulling the strings behind the scenes? Your theories might just uncover details the rest of us missed. If you enjoyed breaking down these hidden clues with me, make sure to hit that like button, not just because it helps the channel, but because it tells me you want more deep dives into trailers that play like puzzles. And don't forget to subscribe with notifications on, because when the episode 10 promo drops, the finale tease, we'll be here to dissect every single frame. Until then, remember this: every promo hides a secret, every silence speaks louder than words, and in Dexter's world, nothing stays buried forever.